Be safe. Don't do anything that you don't think you can do, that you haven't been trained to do, and anything that you haven't seen. Make sure that you are proactive on the wards, that you are looking for the jobs that you need to do, that you're keeping an eye, keeping a track of this, and make sure that you do regularly update the lists, because updating the list means that you won't have to go through tedious processes and everything will be there right in front of you. If you have other people that update the list for you already, then you're sorted.
Alexa, skip to Friday.
Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about 5 simple things that you can incorporate that will make you an amazing and efficient foundation doctor. First things first, what is key to being an efficient F1 is organisation and making sure that you have all your jobs up to date and just making sure that you don't forget any of them. And in order to do this efficiently, I'd suggest that you buy a clipboard. And then once you've got a clipboard, what you can do is just get an A4 sheet of paper, and then as you can see, just write different numbers down for different patients. And an efficient method is to draw boxes like this, and then once you've done part of the job, draw a line. Once you've done more of the job, scribble out half of it, and then once you've completed the job, then scribble the whole thing. And then write all their jobs next to it. However, I think it's better to have an A4 sheet of paper and have everything there on one page, because then it allows you to visualize everything at the same time, and then none of your jobs will be missed out. So what are some of the jobs that you will be doing in F1? So some of the main jobs that you'll be doing is partaking in ward rounds, and you'll mainly be scribing for whoever is the senior doctor there. If that is the reg, or if once a week it'll be consultant led, then you'll actually be taking out notes and making sure that all the jobs are done. Some of the jobs can involve TTOs, which is basically prescribing their drugs from the hospital to their outpatient, so the drugs that they take home basically. Another thing that you do is EDLs, which is basically discharge letters. So you're going to be writing letters to the GP explaining why exactly the patient was in hospital and what you did for the patient during their stay in the hospital. So in order to keep on top of these EDLs and TTOs, I'd recommend getting them done as soon as the patient is admitted to your ward. So ensuring that your whole discharge letter is updated every single day. I know it does sound easier than in actual practicality, but if you do follow this, then when you are discharging a patient, you'll find it much easier, and you won't have to keep going back to the notes to remember exactly what it is that you've done for the patient. The next thing, big thing that you'll be involved in during your foundation years is clinical skills, and this can involve anything from taking bloods, doing cannulas, ABGs, catheters, DREs, whatever have you. So you'll be doing this quite a lot. Sometimes if you're lucky, you'll have the opportunity to do more fancy procedures such as lumbar punctures, and depending on what ward you are, what specialty, you may have more or less clinical skills. Something else that you'll be doing during your time as a foundation doctor is you'll be in charge of doing referrals. So if the patient needs to be referred to cardiology or something, say they have some cardio symptoms, what you'll be expected to do is to do an inpatient or outpatient referral. And a lot of the time these can be on the computer via email, or sometimes, depending on your hospital, they may be done by fax. So you have to handwrite these referral forms and then fax it to the relevant department. It's best to make sure that you keep on top of how the referrals are done, because otherwise you might end up faxing them because the fax number is still there, however they no longer take fax, and then your referral is basically void. These referrals, it is best that you include every single part of detail that is relevant to the patient, otherwise you may be rejected, your referral may be rejected. And this, alongside referrals, this also holds true for requesting procedures such as radiological procedures such as x-rays, CTs, MRIs, echoes, and whatever else that you may request. So just ensure that you keep full details, and if you can't remember it from the top of your head, either ask some of your colleagues or just refer to patient notes. And finally, one of the most important things that you need to be doing during your foundation years, and you'll get the hang of this, is documentation. Make sure that you write every single thing down and it's filed inside the patient notes. because if you've done a procedure, you cathetered a patient, cannulated them, you did a referral, and you've done all the work, but it's not documented, it didn't happen. So that is a very, very key piece of information. Make sure that you document every single thing that you do. If you called a patient, document it. If you call a patient's family, document it. If you do a referral, document it. If you've received a report from radiology, document it. Basically, whatever happens, document it. This way, it basically saves you from trouble in the future. And I know that the idea of us being there is mainly for patient care, but we still have to ensure that we protect ourselves, because if we don't protect ourselves, we won't be able to deliver the best patient care. To make your life on the ward easier, just ensure that you have got access to all of the programs needed. So this will include PACS or Insight, whatever program you use for viewing radiology, for inputting patient details, for requesting bloods. All of these programs, just make sure you contact IT very early on, so that you aren't wasting your time with paper referral forms, because the electronic ones are quite a lot faster. It wouldn't be a make or break, but it would make you a lot more efficient, and this could stop you from actually working overtime and going into your lunch. Just make sure that you are keeping yourself very healthy, got a good welfare, well-being. Make sure that you do socialise with friends, colleagues, or whoever else you are going to join in with mess events, and just make sure that you're healthy up here, your body's healthy, so that you're able to perform better in the workplace and help your patients even more, and so that you don't end up burning out or breaking down. Some people were a bit curious and were wondering when I'd be doing a video on on-calls and night shifts. Just keep tuned, perhaps hit the like and subscribe button, and in the future I hope I will be addressing these issues of on-calls and night shifts, but just keep your eyes peeled. Thanks and bye.